Hello, anyone that has been led to my channel by my dear friend Joe, and you're like, who is this guy, Nacho? So, the link to my main channel is in the description of this channel, and the channel basically got canceled. I can't upload anything or do anything anymore to it. YouTube permanently cut it off. I can't go live anymore. And a shout out to Joe. He's such a badass. The reason why me and Joe know each other through the internet is I made a video years back about how he would have been a better fit to be the knife tester for GSM, formerly known as Cold Steel. I'm at work. I'm walking back and forth because that shows presence. Another reason why I like Joe X so much, not only because I got fascinated with survival knives in the outdoors and stuff, and the rabbit hole led me to him, which is cool as fuck. Joe, as an American, Joe is the epitome, or he's the prime example, or he is the poster child, there's a saying that he's the poster child, the poster boy, whatever, the epitome, the main example to what happens when the government is allowed to fuck your First and Second Amendment. Now, I know if you're not American, it doesn't make sense. How does the First Amendment of the United States Constitution also cover public filming? The First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States covers freedom of speech, I believe freedom of assembly, meaning to protest the government in public, or protest period, peaceful protest, whatever. I think whatever it's in, the freedom of expression and public filming is for somehow regarded or covered by the First Amendment. Public filming, it has certain criterias. My job right now, I'm guarding a private facility. I'm outside, so I could publicly film whatever the fuck I want. If you were inside their building and they didn't want you filming shit, then they have the right to kick you out, okay? I believe what Joe was ultimately fired for constitutes as public filming, because other tourists or other people had cameras and shit, and they obviously just don't like Joe because in their eyes he's a subversive person. Now Joe's his bombastic and blunt approach to speaking his opinions is most red, white, and blue, most American thing ever. Okay, Europe is different, but nonetheless, he is archaic to them. He is some kind of malefactor to them. I mean, it's bullshit. Of course he's not. Us fans of him know he's a good person. He's not a violent, nefariously violent person. I mean, he's in the army. He's trained to be violent. He's not a nefariously violent person because he's already been fucked with by neighborhood Karens, and the government tried to take away his arms, and he just grinned and bared it, and he didn't commit any physical retaliation to anybody. He's just an old-fashioned person, and you need that kind of person to be a warrior. but that's a different subject. Okay, he's basically he's the poster child or the poster boy, the epitome, the prime example of what happens when the government is allowed to shit on your First and Second Amendment. And if you guys are not from the United States, the First Amendment covers everything I just said, and your Second Amendment covers your right to bear arms. Okay? So, I mean, me personally, I only notice, I don't follow that many channels. Jacob B. Peterson is a really good supporter of Joe. He's a really great American, and he understands that. I noticed that Well Regulated, another American knife channel, really advertises a lot of Joe's material. Because, yeah, man, fuck, dude. Again, I have to say that if you're a person that is not interested in this topic, in my opinion, you're a very banal, like, boring son of a bitch. Okay? Like, you don't even, like, you come from such a boring, like, mediocre, normie, NPC fucking world, and you have no opinions on nothing. You're just a normal fucking goober, okay? And you wouldn't be able to understand why real ass men like Joe, or what I'm trying to be, is going to go extinct, and how you're going to have a fucking bullshit cookie cutter conformist society built around simping fucking drones of NPC fucking goobers, compliant motherfuckers that don't believe in anything, don't stand for anything. Like, there was this dude, I think it was Zapata, and he said it's better to die on your feet than live on your knees. And if you're not vibing with what I'm saying, you would never have that kind of man's respect. And the fact of the matter that you breathe, eat, and probably fuck is a miracle, because throughout the dawn of time, only real ass men, I guarantee you, if you can't relate with what I'm saying, you're either a very ignorant, thuggish person that, like, never had a dad, and you're like fucking, you're just a thug, and you're too ignorant to grasp this shit, and they're exempt. Like, there's like hardcore ass people that, like, for whatever reason, hopefully it wasn't nothing creepy, they're like in and out of this prison system. They don't give a fuck about who Thomas Jefferson or Ben Franklin is. Hell, they probably didn't even have a father, or they have no affiliation with continuing the American ethos and tradition. It's because they're too fucking monstrously fucking ignorant. They're like social mishaps, okay? But, like, if you're a fucking if you're like a person who has ancestors in your, like, in your country going back generations that fought in wars for people's freedom and people's sovereignty or people's livelihood and shit, and you can't relate with what a goddamn I'm saying, you're more than likely a pathetic son of a bitch. It's not just me saying this shit, okay? Like, I done martial arts and shit, no one cares, right? I've gone to martial arts schools where the coaches were veterans, right? They at least thought they were fighting for the freedom and rights and protection of America. And they're like real ass men, dude. They're like buff, full of testosterone, right? Formidable. They could whoop ass empty-handed or with guns and whatever, right? You would, like, I could barely feast at their round table and kick it with them. If you can't, like, identify or relate to what I'm saying, you definitely would not be able to be in their guild. I at least can spar those motherfuckers, getting my ass kicked or surviving the round or not. I don't know, man. I mean, it's kind of a fucking ad hominem to say to use that shit, your lack of manhood. But, like, fucking, I mean, if you don't get it, you're never going to get it. You know, if you just live for Netflix and chill and Prawn Hub and shit, and you have no fucking, like, you don't go hunting. You like, if some dude disrespected your old lady by putting his hand on her ass, or called your mom fat or something, you're gonna, like, call Karen Patrol and not handle it yourself. And my ex-slut, whose nickname was Sarah, she would never fuck you, dude. And she's a huge slut. Because you have, like, no fucking testosterone whatsoever, dude. Like, I'm ugly and I'm broke and shit. But I've actually fucked hot bitches because I at least try to be a fucking man, dude. And I'm not trying to hear flex or whatever the fuck, but long story short, if you follow Joe X, you more than likely already identify and could relate to this shit, and you're like a badass, you know? And if you're not a badass, it's okay. Like Benjamin Franklin was a politician in the United States of America. He was not a man of the sword. He was a man of the pen. He was an intellectual. But he knew the importance of strong men being able to voice strong opinions. And I gotta go. I have to do some other rounds at this job. Basically, we have to clock in every hour. I gotta use this phone. But if the rabbit hole or Joe X referred you to me, the link to my main channel is in the description of this channel. And the only thing my channel's really worth, other than telling everybody how badass Joe X is if you look at my playlists, my playlist on my channel, if they have an icon like a star, or if they have any kind of like star or a lightning bolt, you'll see something like flashy in front of the name of the playlist. It's gonna say like Trad Pill. It's gonna say like Twion, T-W-I-O-N. The end of the world is over news. The end is nigh news. Debunking evangelical Protestantism and this and that. Proof for the preternatural. Like playlists like that. The thing that my channel's worth is, for months, if not years, I've been archiving material that will show you and tell you the how this world's going to shit, how the government's fucking us, how AI is gonna fuck us, how our way of life is inevitable to change for the worst. You just heard a truck driver go by, right? Say goodbye to your job from AI, guys. And how Bill Gates and all the elitists of our nations are weirdos that like to touch kids with Jeffrey Epstein and want to limit the populations. For some reason, the government, you guys, just look into my playlist. I gotta get going. You think I'm crazy or whatever. I'm not. I'm just not educated to articulate these very important matters. So I archived videos of people who are articulate and are knowledgeable of it, because it's been proven our society is ran by these sickos. Okay, and I, for one, it's an insult to my manhood. Let that go. If our politicians are wasting all our money to touch kids on Epstein Island, and these Talmudic fucks at their religion states to kill Gentiles and to R-word their kids as young as 9 and 3 years old and blah, 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 okay? It's an insult to my manhood, and it should be an insult to your manhood. And if our brother Joe and people like him are being fucked out of a good job for stupid shit, just for trying to be men of freedom. And if we pacifistically do nothing about it, it should be an insult to our manhood to let that shit go. Because that's not how our ancestors and our forefathers and stuff rolled. That's not how they did things. And why the fuck do you fly your nation's flag? Why do you believe in owning weapons? Why do you train for warfare? Why do you get buff if all you do is let our politicians screw the F with kids on Epstein fucking Island? How does it not bother you? You just work out to get buff, to try to tell chicks you're buff on Instagram or on Facebook or social media or some dumb shit. It's an insult. I wasn't born, you know, an ogre size, all big and fucking powerful. And I don't fuck with weapons for no fucking reason, dude. I don't do that shit to just try to look tough. Okay? I don't do that shit to try to make chicks think that I'm a tough guy or try to get respect from other dudes. I don't need that shit. I'm already too scary, ugly, and fucking big as it is. Okay? So it's an insult to why the fuck do we have the Second Amendment? Why the fuck do we even have the freedom of speech? Why do we say that we endorse that shit? How do we call ourselves men if we just sit there absorbing fiction and shit on TV that doesn't fucking matter? When you're just gonna sit there and not even share or not even bring awareness at all to the fact that our fucking leaders and elitists of this world are fucking sickos like that, guys. Don't call yourself men. Don't fucking play tactical G.I. Joe shit. Don't go to the gym. Don't take up space in my fucking gym. Don't practice martial arts. Don't practice your tactical shit, your tactical shit, if you're not gonna give a fuck about all this corruption going on. The most insidious, sickening fucking kind of corruption too. Don't call yourself a fucking man if you're not gonna give a shit about that shit. Because it's an insult to my manhood to not do anything about it. And I mean, I tried. I just got canceled. I got my fucking YouTube shit cut down. I don't care about being popular, dude. It's a blessing to not be popular, dude. Like, I don't fucking care. I'm not here to get 1 billion subscriptions or any of that shit. If it doesn't lead to people getting off their ass and helping fuckers do some shit about it. So this is gonna be one of my last fucking videos. You know, I really appreciate Joe trying to bring awareness to me, trying to bring awareness. I really appreciate any patronage for him, guys. Fuck my channel. Please go subscribe to him. Other really good news channels, if you're American, if you're Western, in fact, other really good news sources. The best news on YouTube is fucking Black Scout Survival, especially if you're American. Scott Ritter, Colonel Douglas McGregor, J.D. Delay. If I think of any others that come to mind, I'll be sure to relay them to you if I'm still here. But I made a mental commitment that I'm just gonna basically give up my crusade to try to get people on board with this shit, because I have to worry about being politically fucking correct like a bitch to keep a job. I've tried to break into corrections so many times, and they're not going to want someone who's considered an anti-Talmudic, and you have to watch I have a family. I don't have kids, but I have family members that need me, and the last thing I need is to be incarcerated and to be fucking to be a I don't need to be vetted and doxxed and fucking took it down by Talmudics. I'm not gonna die alone. My fellow Americans have proved to me that they don't give a shit about this. They've proved to me that no one's gonna rise up and help me with this war. So I'll die alone, and I can't afford to die alone because I have to have fucking income and freedom to help family members and shit pay fucking heating bill. I've been looking forward to getting out of politics and to just live my life as trying to be. I'm not saying I'm like a black belt or a great outdoorsman, but it's my new passion. Thanks to Joe, the rabbit hole led me to Joe, and I've bought so many survival knives, guys. So I got some of that kind of material. If you scan through my playlists on probably this channel too, but especially my original channel that's linked in the description of this channel. If you want to check that out, sure. I'm boring. Watch the best tactical survival channels or outdoor knife channels is Joe X for your product's durability, and he's just all around really entertaining. And Jacob B. Peterson and Well Regulated is really good. And there's other honorable mentions. Joe will give them a shout out. So I really appreciate if Joe led you to my channel and any patronage. But again, guys, my playlists, the ones with icons in front of them, very interesting. It's going to be saying proof of the preternatural, debunking Protestantism and Talmudic shit, and fucking the end is nigh news, trad pill. Okay, but my channel's boring. Fuck my channel. Check out Joe X's work, Joe Explorer, Joe X, all the knife stuff that he's broken. He's almost died testing these knives. It's not funny. It's like, because he doesn't need to jump out of trees in the water and shit. He doesn't need to fucking crash his car running over fucking knife. He beats the shit out of these cars and still drives them. All right, stay alive, Joe. No one wants you gone. I ain't laughing, and I wouldn't laugh if you got hurt. It's just you're fuck, dude. Joe has more testosterone and more energy than men half our age. So we love you, Joe. You're fucking badass, dude. Don't get killed, please. And be careful, Joe, because they're going to just want to paint you out as being some kind of vindictive monster. So, and you guys, again, check out Black Scout Survival. Please subscribe to that for your news, especially if you're American. Scott Ritter and Colonel Douglas McGregor will tell you everything about how World War III is so imminent as fuck. And again, check out Joe X on my playlist. I gotta go, guys. I gotta clock in and do more patrols later.